If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break neck. And that's on my kids. And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it.
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
I don't like nothing about it.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis have been at odds for a while, but we never anticipated just how intense things could get until now.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look? 147? Shit, I tap that chin, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know
he ain't got no chin.
I already know.
It's almost fight week for Gervonta Davis. As he wraps up his training camp and prepares for his 31st fight, potentially his 29th knockout, he and his opponent, Roach, participated in a behind-the-scenes press meeting. The two sat down for a roundtable interview in Brooklyn, New York, near the venue where the fight will take place.
Whoever, I told Tank know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these.
The fight took place on Valentine's Day at Madison Square Garden, with Terence Crawford among the notable attendees, alongside Claressa Shields and other top boxers. Since then, Crawford has remained in New York, planning to travel to Saudi Arabia to watch Shakur Stevenson face Floyd Schofield. Surprisingly, Crawford showed up at the press meeting between Gervonta Davis and Roach. The situation quickly escalated into chaos when Crawford interrupted the event, leading to a brawl after Gervonta Davis confronted him over recent comments he had made.
Tank would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to...
Crawford admitted to making the comments and even dared Gervonta Davis to take action. However, before Davis could react, Terence Crawford made the first move, shoving him before they were quickly separated. Here's what really happened, and the statement from Crawford that reignited their latest feud. The 37-year-old from Omaha, Nebraska, has accomplished more than most fighters dream of since turning pro in March 2008. He has claimed world titles across 4 weight divisions and became the undisputed champion at both super lightweight and welterweight. As he gears up for a mega fight later this year against Mexican superstar Canelo Alvarez, Crawford has sent a message to a reigning world champion, one he believes is arrogant.
No, he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around.
Speaking on the Cigar Talk podcast, Terence Crawford shared his candid thoughts on WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, admitting he doesn't like the 30-year-old from Baltimore. "I just really don't like that dude. I really don't like him. I don't like anything about him," Crawford stated. "I just feel like he's one of these arrogant little dudes using what he has as a shield. He's always surrounded by security guards, you know what I mean. He's in the limelight, but in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that." When asked if he at least respects Davis as a fighter, Crawford acknowledged, yeah, he's a damn good fighter. You know what I mean. I respect him as a fighter. He definitely has skills, he's got power, tremendous boxing ability. But his core personality and his ways.
If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
Potential showdown between the two American stars seems unlikely anytime soon due to the significant weight gap between them. Crawford's last fight took place at 154 pounds last August, and his upcoming showdown against Canelo Alvarez is set for 168 pounds. Meanwhile, the highest weight division Gervonta "Tank" Davis has competed in is super lightweight, with most of his success coming at lightweight. Davis remains an unsolved puzzle for his opponents, boasting an undefeated 30-0 record. As the WBA lightweight champion, he holds a key position in a stacked division that is eagerly awaiting unification bouts.
Oh man, he in the limelight and stuff like that, but in certain situations he wouldn't be acting like that.
Do you like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways.
Vasily Lomachenko holds the IBF title, Shakur Stevenson is the WBC champion, and Keyshawn Davis recently claimed the WBO belt from Dennis Barrioni on Valentine's Day with a devastating body shot knockout. Terence Crawford was in attendance to watch his training partner, Davis, take down Barrioni. Speaking to Fight Hype afterward, Crawford expressed doubts about Gervonta "Tank" Davis's chances against Keyshawn or Shakur. "Tank knows what it is," Crawford said. "He knows what he's up against if he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. He wants to fight guys that the whole world knows won't challenge him. They are not mentally there. They might have some skill, but mentally, they won't be able to keep up for the whole fight. But Shakur and Keyshawn, they are the ones who'll give him his first loss.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like
Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis share a similar mindset regarding a potential showdown with Gervonta Davis. In recent exclusive interviews with Talksport.com, they voiced their confidence in taking on Tank. Keyshawn, brimming with self-assurance, compared a potential fight against Gervonta to the dominant performance Terence Crawford delivered against Errol Spence Jr. in July 2023 for the undisputed welterweight crown. I see myself putting the same beating on Gervonta as Terence did on Spence, Keyshawn told Talksport.com. I feel like his style is perfect for mine. I'm young. I don't think it'll go the full 12 rounds, but if it does, I can fight all 12. I'm smarter than him inside and outside the ring. I'm just smarter than him, period. The only thing people will always talk about is that one punch.
Everybody in the world know they ain't gonna give them no fight. They not mentally there, you know what I mean? They might have a little skills here and there, but mentally wise, they not gonna be.
I have power, and I've knocked fighters out with one punch, but he's done it consistently, Keyshawn Davis admitted. We all know he has that one-punch knockout ability, but people don't yet know what I truly have. I've only had 12 fights, and I've only been competing at an elite level for 3. My next fight against Ivan Baranchyk will be my 4th at this level, so there are still a lot of unknowns. I'm already better than what I've shown. Meanwhile, Shakur Stevenson has been chasing a fight with Gervonta Davis for years without success and still doesn't understand why it hasn't materialized. However, he believes there's only one person who can make it happen. He's the big superstar, the big name, the biggest pay-per-view attraction in boxing, Stevenson told Talksport.com. With him being the biggest name and the biggest draw, it's on him to make the fight happen.
It up that whole fight. And them two guys right there, you know what I mean, is going to be the ones that, you know, give him his first.
The ball is in his court. I can't say I'm going to send him an offer, Turki Alalshik can. Turkey has the money, I don't have the money to send Gervonta Davis a big enough offer, Shakur Stevenson stated. I don't know why the fight hasn't happened. He's a weird human being. To be honest, I don't have much respect for him. Gervonta Davis is set to return to action on March 1st in Brooklyn, where he will face WBA super featherweight champion Lamont Roach. If he emerges unscathed, he is expected to take on one of the 3 reigning champions next.
Said no chance.
I got round 5.
Yeah, I got round 6.
Gervonta Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah.
At this stage, Vasily Lomachenko appears to be the front-runner, as Davis's team previously approached the Ukrainian slickster for a fight last year. However, Lomachenko opted to take some time away from the sport instead. Essentially, the tension between Devon Davis and Terence Crawford stems from what happened at the Ring Magazine Awards in London this past January, where Gervonta Davis was notably absent.
Entire boxing royalty marked their presence at the London Ring Awards.
Boxing's biggest stars gathered at the Ring Magazine Awards in London, but a few notable names were absent, perhaps the most prominent being Gervonta "Tank" Davis. The prestigious event celebrated the best in the sport, yet Davis, despite his 30-0 record with 28 knockouts and his recent announcement that he plans to retire in 2025, was left off the guest list. Many speculate that his exclusion stemmed from his strained relationship with Riyadh Season and Turki Alalshik, who also owns Ring Magazine. Unhappy about being left out, Davis took to his X account, formerly Twitter, to express his frustration in a series of posts, though he later deleted them. However, Terence Crawford seized the moment to mock him, escalating their already ongoing feud. I see somebody mad they weren't invited to the Ring Magazine gala, Crawford posted, adding laughing emojis. I remember being left out, that's why when they let me in, I crashed the party. Though Davis deleted his posts, some were retrieved and reported by media outlets. In his messages, he questioned the invitation process, stating, why didn't they invite everybody? But they invited people they deal with? Get out of here, stop bum eating. He also took aim at boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, calling him a little rat, and criticized Turki Alalshik, questioning his influence in boxing. They want to act like this guy is good for boxing when he knows nothing about it. If so, why isn't he building up the people where he's from? As the online dispute continued, Davis turned his attention to Crawford, boasting that he had more money than him. Crawford, unfazed, fired back, "The first thing a rich fool tells another rich fool is that he has more money. I bet I have more investments than you, and I don't owe $1 in taxes. You can't buy anything I can't buy, and that's a fact." Their war of words is just the latest chapter in their rivalry. This isn't the first time Davis has taken shots at Crawford. Following Crawford's dominant win over Errol Spence Jr. to become the undisputed champion, Davis once claimed he could beat Crawford at 147 pounds. Speaking on The Breakfast Club, Crawford dismissed the claim, saying, "If he thinks he's just going to come up to 147 and knock me out, he's got another thing coming." While a fight between Crawford and Davis seems unlikely, Crawford remains focused on one thing: his highly anticipated showdown with Canelo Alvarez later this year.
Against Canelo Alvarez.
Gave a little prediction on the fight, talked about Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield, talked about the punch resistance. What do you think of Tank's assessment, man?
Terence Crawford and Gervonta, Tank Davis may currently be 3 weight divisions apart, but they have competed in the same classes before. Crawford began his career at lightweight, the division where Tank Davis is currently a world champion. He then became undisputed at super lightweight, a division where Davis has also won a belt. Since then, Crawford has continued moving up in weight, dominating the welterweight division before making his debut at 154 pounds last year. Meanwhile, Davis remains at 135 pounds, holding the WBA world title and maintaining his reputation as a knockout artist. The Baltimore-born power puncher has previously claimed that he would knock Crawford out, perhaps jokingly, but Crawford has warned him against punching above his weight.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
See, okay. What about everyone's talking about Errol fighting?
While a fight between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis is highly unlikely, some believe it wouldn't be a foregone conclusion if it did happen. In an interview with Real Life Productions, multi-division world champion Roy Jones Jr. shared his thoughts on the potential matchup, saying, "That's a good damn fight," suggesting it could be competitive if they fought just below the welterweight limit. "I don't see anybody around that's going to beat Bud unless it's someone way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that if he and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good damn fight, you understand me?" Jones said. They both have very high IQs, and Tank is very explosive. That's the one thing Tank has that Errol Spence didn't have. In boxing, an explosive fighter can go a lot of places. I was only able to cover the weights that I covered because I was so explosive. Explosiveness keeps people in check. For now, both fighters are continuing their campaigns separately. Crawford is chasing a blockbuster fight against super middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez, which would require a 14-pound jump in weight. Meanwhile, Tank Davis is preparing for his March 1st fight against Lamont Roach Jr. at the Barclays Center, while the much-anticipated Crawford vs. Canelo fight appears to be in the works after both fighters reportedly met with Saudi chief Turki Alalshik in London. Not everyone is excited. Despite the buzz surrounding the potential showdown, another major boxing star, Tank Davis, doesn't seem too impressed with the matchup.
If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, you would take all that money that he's offering you.
With Gervonta, Tank Davis seemingly unimpressed by the potential showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez, his coach, Calvin Ford, has also weighed in on the fight. The debate over who would win between Canelo and Crawford continues to spark discussions among boxing fans and analysts. The fight would be one of the biggest in the sport, bringing together 2 4-pound greats. However, it would require Crawford to make a significant jump in weight to challenge the Mexican superstar. Speaking with Fight Hype, Calvin Ford shared his thoughts on the potential matchup, appearing to lean toward Canelo as the likely winner. While he acknowledged Crawford's skills and accomplishments, Ford suggested that the size difference could play a major role in the outcome. As speculation surrounding the fight builds, fans eagerly await official confirmation of the bout, while Davis and his team continue to focus on his upcoming match against Lamont Roach Jr.
Terence Crawford, Canelo situation. Do you think that's a fight where they could get to a weight that makes sense? Do you think that the weight would affect Terence Crawford?
I mean, Canelo's the king. Whatever he say, you know what I'm saying?
Canelo is the champion, and it's a great fight that I'd love to see. I'm really interested in the outcome. Canelo has been making some impressive moves in his recent fights. Ford also talked about Crawford's performance in his last match when he moved up to 154 pounds to face Israel Madrimov, but couldn't secure a stoppage. It was his first fight at that weight, so it's hard to say he didn't carry his power with him. He had to make adjustments, much like when Benavidez moved up in weight. It's all about adjusting to the new division. I hope Terence Crawford gets another chance at that weight so he can prove that the power is still there. If it's not, then we can start questioning it.
It's a good fight. I like to see that fight. The outcome of it, you know what I'm saying? And then watching Canelo been making some good moves, you know, as far as fights and whatnot, you know.
That's all for now. For the latest updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you're alerted when we drop more quality content like this. Until next time, peace out.